Bay Road in Easton, Massachusetts was once an old Indian trail. In the year 1754, it was laid out 40 feet wide through the town. This road was well traveled at the time of the Revolution. In April of 1775, the militia marched on Bay Road in response to the Lexington alarm. More than a dozen taverns were in operation on the road during this period, providing food and rest for the soldiers. George Washington was in town inspecting and negotiating cannons manufactured in Easton during the Revolutionary War and stayed at the tavern located at 539 Bay Road. The training field for the militia was the location of the now current Wheaton Farm, named after Daniel Wheaton, who owned the land. One night, a family was driving down Bay Road in North Easton and saw a solitary figure marching in a Revolutionary-era outfit. The family was concerned with this person walking at a late hour, so they decided to turn around and offer him a ride, but he was gone. After driving down a couple side streets trying to find him, they ended up on Allen Road, only to find he had vanished. Another family had also witnessed this Revolutionary War soldier marching. Further down on Bay Road in Southeastern by Wheaton Farm, two witnesses on two separate nights had seen a ghostly figure of a woman crossing the road from the old Daniel Wheaton house over to the barn across the street. So this is where the family was driving, by the entrance right here at Borderland, and they saw the soldier dressed in revolutionary clothing. But I do have an interesting theory. Down here on Allen Road is the VFW Club, so let's take a ride down there.
Oh, shit.
So here we are at the VFW Club in North Easton. And in the parking lot, they have an army tank. Pretty cool piece of war memorabilia. So here's my theory, that maybe here at the VFW Club one night, they had an event where people were dressing in Revolutionary War clothing.
They're probably having a reenactment.
Yes,
You know what I'm
and
saying?
maybe he was walking to the event down Allen Street.
Yeah, and people thought, like, wait a minute, is that a ghost? And
It's possible.
you know what I'm saying? Because, a lot of times they have those things, reenactments.
Okay, so Seneca volunteered to try an experiment. He's going to walk down Allen Road while the rest of us are going to recreate this family's pattern by driving down Randall Street, Lincoln Street, and then Allen Road. We're going to see if Seneca can get to the VFW before we can. Maybe this person arrived here before the family driving around could get here, and that would explain why they couldn't find him. So we're at the entrance to Borderland State Park. Seneca's going to start walking down Allen Road over here, and we're going to retrace the steps that this family drove down, and we're going to see if you'll beat us to the VFW Club way down there.
Alright, let's do this for a race.
So the family turned down here on Randall Street, and that's when they decided to turn around and pick up this person. And they probably may have turned around somewhere, possibly around here. So, retracing their steps, they took a right on Bay Road and then decided to go down Lincoln Street. Once they couldn't find him on Bay Road, they thought maybe he went down Lincoln Street. So they took a right down here to try to find him. And then they realized they couldn't see him. So they might have turned around maybe after this curve, Maybe they gave him the benefit of the doubt that he was walking fast, so they might have realized at this point that he wasn't here, so they decided to turn around and go down Allen Road. How about you head on to Allen Road? And here's Allen Road. Now let's see how far Seneca got. Actually, Seneca went pretty far. I don't even see him. Wow. There he is.
Pretty much halfway there.
So you made it a pretty good distance. Actually, I will say.
Maybe they went further down the street instead of like so short.
I think maybe they just didn't drive up it this far, and maybe that's why they didn't see him.
Yeah.
Maybe they did. I don't know, but you made it a pretty good distance. Surprisingly.
I know.
So we learned that Josiah Keefe III was the lieutenant in the militia and led the troops down Bay Road to fight in Lexington and Concord. He also resided and ran a tavern on this road. When the British arrived to battle in New York, Lemuel Smith, who also marched down Bay Road, followed the Continental Army to New York, where he was taken prisoner at White Plains. After a year imprisonment, he and another comrade overpowered a guard and escaped. He managed to make it back to his home, where he lived on Bay Road in Stoughton. So we have the camera set up on a tripod, and I'm going to go ahead and put my footstep tracker down on the ground and see if we pick up any marching. Can anyone march towards me? I am not the British. I mean you no harm. So this is where they saw him marching, right here. Right by Lincoln Street. Yeah?
You never know. Look, walk down here, you never see him again.
True. He could have lived in the area. He could have been a member of the VFW club. So I'm going to leave the recorder right here while we continue walking. Heard a horse?
No, it was like.
No, it sounds like when you walk, it sounds like click, 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 click.
It's on the bottom of a horse's feet. Like,
Yeah, like.
Like it started like as soon as we started
Marching
walking.
sounds, maybe?
Yeah, like that. Yeah, marching sounds. Yeah.
The whole time I thought it was you guys behind me. I thought you guys had something in your pocket or something.
Where did you hear it at? Right here?
Right next to me.
The
It's
whole
behind
time.
me.
The whole time walking down here.
Right behind me.
Yeah.
Right around here? I didn't hear it.
It was right behind me. Thought it was
You have
down.
something in your pocket? Like hit together?
I don't know.
When you walk, it doesn't sound like when you're walking.
You have anything in your pocket?
There's a
It was heavy.
Yeah, it
It
sounded
was mad heavy.
like a horse.
It sounded like running.
Like galloping.
Yeah,
Kind of like walking.
it's weird.
That's so crazy.
Is it a cemetery?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you want to read?
One gravestone in this whole cemetery. Are you Josiah Keefe? Is that who it is marching?
How old are you when you passed?
Can you tell us your name? Who has been seen marching down this road?
Were you marching to Lexington? That's a far walk.
Can you tell us what year it is for you?
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't make it out.
I thought it was Seneca. Somebody said my name, it was so good.
My name is Harry.
I'm Seneca, you just said it.
I'm Achilles.
I'm Dominic.
What's your name?
Is there anyone else marching on the street with you? Bay Road is now a street. Are you aware that we won the war?
Oh, he was the enemy? He was the enemy?
Picking up something. So I will go back later and review what I may have caught on the recorder. Lemuel Smith, is it you that's marching on this road?
If it is, you show yourself?
I understand you were held prisoner of war, and you escaped. Must have been a long walk back from New York to your home in Stoughton on Bay Road. Lemuel, are you still on the run? Who was the name of your comrade that helped you escape? So if this soldier is Lemuel Smith, he might be marching back to his final resting place in the cemetery up on Bay Road in Stoughton. And Bay Road in Stoughton was his residence at the time. So he might be marching back to his final resting place at the cemetery we're about to head to. So I don't see anyone marching. Two families driving down this road have spotted the same soldier.
Oh, two of them?
Yeah, it was two families.
Oh, shit.
So we arrived at the Dry Pond Memorial. This is the cemetery where Lemuel Smith is buried in.
John Gillen.
I'm going to assume that this is to represent the cannonballs that were manufactured right here in Easton for the Revolutionary War. So the meter is spiking in the cemetery, right here in the spot.
Oh shit.
Lemuel, is that you? Can you touch this device in my hand? Lemuel, I honor you for your service. We just want to know if it's you that's been seen marching.
Was that you marching?
Were you marching back here to this cemetery? Tell us where you were going.
You communicate with this
Hey.
device right here.
Did you hear that?
What?
I heard someone say, hey, over here. Oh, it might be, I think it's the tree squeaking.
Oh.
Sounded like someone saying, hey. Can you tell us if you're in a better place? It was a long walk back from New York here to Stoughton.
I was really tired.
Did you stay in any of the taverns on Bay Road? Were you marching to one of the taverns? So I understand you were under the command of Josiah Keefe. He was your lieutenant and then later on a captain. Are you with him right now? Can you tell us what it was like fighting in the war? You don't have to march anymore. The war is over. You can rest in peace. I just want you to know that.
My neighbor and her daughter both have claimed to have seen Civil War vintage or era soldiers just south of here on Bay Road. They've lived in the house they're at for quite a few years, 10 years or so,
Okay.
maybe a little longer. So, so somewhere in that time frame.
In the Revolutionary War type clothing?
Yeah, Civil War, I think they
Civil
said.
War?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's up, guys? We are back for another investigation on Bay Road, night 2. We couldn't finish the other night because it was just too damn cold with the wind chill. We were freezing our asses off. We felt like popsicles out there. So we are actually finishing our investigation on Bay Road at Wheaton Farm. And actually, it was said that Wheaton Farm was the training field for the militia. So if this phantom soldier is marching down Bay Road, then it might be possible that he's here at Wheaton Farm. Maybe he still feels as if he's training. So we're going to go out and see what we can find. If there's anyone out here tonight that's from the militia, can you show yourself? Maybe show us some of your training techniques? We are not the British. We come in peace. We know George Washington led the Continental Army. It is now the year of 2023. Our president now is Joe Biden. We just want to communicate with you. We're not here to harm you in any kind of way.
Anybody out here with us tonight? Can you touch this device?
Don't be afraid to walk up towards us. And guys, we do gotta watch out for coyotes in those woods.
Let me start by introducing myself. My name is Paul. This here is Harry. What is your name?
Lemuel Smith, are you out here with us tonight? Are you with Josiah Keith? We know you arrived for the battle late. Do you still feel that you're answering the Lexington alarm?
Is Josiah Keith out here with us tonight?
Can you say hello if you are? We know they called your loans in early and you committed suicide. I'm sorry. I understand you went from being lieutenant to captain. Congratulations. Do you still feel like you and your men are marching down Bay Road?
I just saw something run that way real quick. Like
Oh.
just on the outskirts of like the woods.
What did it look like?
A coyote.
Paul, you get my hopes up. I thought you were going to say it was a ghost or something.
I wish I could say that.
Can you tell us the name of the soldier who's been seen marching? We just want to know your name. So honestly, I think that this phantom soldier who's been seen marching down Bay Road still feels as if they're in the Revolutionary War, and they still feel as if they're answering to the Lexington alarm.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, so here we are at the barn on Wheaton Farm. Witnesses have reported a ghostly figure of a woman crossing the street from the Daniel Wheaton house over to this barn over here on Bay Road. And honestly, we think it's Mary Wheaton, who was Daniel Wheaton's wife who passed away. Maybe she still feels as if she's alive still and there's work to be done on the farm. So we're going to investigate right here in this spot and try to make contact with her. Mrs. Wheaton, if you're out with us tonight, could you come out and show yourself? We're not going to hurt you. We just have a lot of questions. Do you still feel that there's work to be done on the farm? Are you looking for certain tools in the barn? Maybe like a hay row? Trying to think of whatever 18th century tools they would have had back then, farming tools.
That's a good question.
Maybe you were looking for a scythe or a rake, maybe a flail, or a shovel. We just want to communicate with you. Mrs. Wheaton, we have 2 devices out with us tonight. So we'll be able to know if your presence is here or not. Can you walk in between any one of them, please? You got a beautiful home across the street. I'm sorry you passed away. Actually, she passed away at the age of 61, which was very young.
Yeah, it was.
Temperature is fluctuating.
Yeah, but what?
It went from 51.6 to 50.0, now 50.7. Yeah, we're getting a major temperature fluctuation right here in the spot. Mrs. Wheaton, if that's you, concentrate all your energy and come towards us. 49.8 now.
That's good. Mary Wheaton, how did you pass away?
First of all, let me just start off by saying we're sorry you passed away at a young age. Can you tell us how you passed? That's simple. It sounded like a woman's voice, too.
Yeah, it was.
Mary, is that you?
Mary, how many children did you have? Did you have any grandchildren? Mary, are you here with us right now?
Mary, can you give us a sign if you're out here with us tonight? Any kind of sign at all? Yeah, this barn is definitely old. The barn is definitely old.
That's kind of big in there too, huh?
Mary, is it okay if we're here at your barn? It's a beautiful, historic piece of property. Got the old Wheaton Farm sign right there. All right, Mary, we're gonna go. Thanks for letting us try to communicate with you. May your soul rest in peace. So after that whole investigation, we came up empty-handed. We even thought we heard marching sounds.
When you walk, it sounds like, yeah, click, 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 click,
It's on the
click.
bottom of a horse's feet. Like,
Yeah, like,
it started like as soon as we started
Marching
walking.
sounds, maybe?
Yeah, like that.
But Dominic concluded it was the soles from the bottom of his shoes manipulating that sound, since he heard it again when he was walking, well after he went home. So we're thinking it was someone dressed up in that type of era clothing heading to an event at the VFW club. I mean, if you drive by someone walking in that area and then you turn down all these side roads, that person will make it a good distance to the club out of sight, as we already proved. But 2 families have reported seeing the soldier, and we also got a report from a witness.
My neighbor and her daughter both have claimed to have seen Civil War vintage or era soldiers just south of here on Bay Road.
So this family claims that they've seen a Civil War soldier, but the clothing from both those eras is very similar, and I doubt that this person would be walking all the way to the VFW club in Northeastern from Bay Road in Southeastern. So I'm curious now on what's actually going on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call the VFW club and find out if they ever had a Revolutionary War reenactment in the past 10 years.
Hello, Eastern VFW.
Hello, my name's Harry Green. I'm from the Bridgewater Triangle Paranormal Investigators.
Okay.
We were investigating a situation on Bay Road where a revolutionary soldier was seen marching, and I was wondering, with the VFW club being so close, did you ever have any reenactments in the past 10 years where patrons were dressing up as soldiers from that era?
No. I've been here for 7, and I haven't had, as far as I know, not in the past 7 years. But it could be.
Okay, well, thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Well, there you have it. All the evidence is in place. So there must have been a phantom soldier marching at one time. And we're not really sure if it's Josiah Keefe or Lemuel Smith, but I'm almost positive it was one of them. They both lived and marched with the militia on Bay Road. Josiah Keefe ran a tavern on that road, and unfortunately he ended up committing suicide. Lemuel Smith is buried in a cemetery on Bay Road. And as far as this ghostly woman who's been seen crossing the road, well, we believe it's Mary Wheaton. She's acting out her daily chores by leaving her house, going across the street to work on the farm.